Hey guys, Kevin Cage back with another daily cryptocurrency update. Welcome to the channel. Like and subscribe if you like what we see, and let's get right into the information today. One take and uncut. This is going to be a different style of video. Instead of just going over a few tweets and a few news articles, I actually just want to talk high level for a moment. So feel free to sit back, relax, and let me know your thoughts down below. So essentially just have this, quote here by Emi Yoshikawa. She's the Senior Director of Global Operations here at Ripple. We know that on-demand liquidity adoption is coming. We get the gist. We're tired of hearing about it. We're tired about regulations, needing liquidity, ramping up, it's a marathon, blah, blah, blah. I completely get it, guys. But on-demand liquidity is occurring. Granted, we are using 10% of the capacity of only one corridor within MoneyGram. And granted, if you really do the math of combinations via corridors or payment highways and the currency pairs, MoneyGram is literally named, and even Crypto Addy has gone over these articles in true sources. They have over 22,000 corridors. Now, one thing I consider is the Pareto principle, the 80-20 rule. Keep in mind that 20% of that input could account for 80% of the output and vice versa. So perhaps, getting, just like with Swift with 11,000 plus financial institutions and banks, getting the top 20% producers will be good enough and actually have that domino effect as well. And it truly is the effect of network effects. Now, a few things I want to go over today. I saw an interesting tweet by Michael Zischek again, and he has some great content, very smart guy. And I try to entertain different thoughts and opinions of a lot of people in this community and, not only influencers, but I keep an eye on the actual people in the know, the people talking with regulators, the people that have dozens of years of banking experience, the people in government positions. That is what I'm really looking at, and then I'm forming my own decision. And one thing that Michael Zischek said that I found interesting was this. Think, if XRP were not to be used by anybody, why would Ripple the company invest so many resources into it? They could have focused 100% on Xcurrent, which is the other product in the X series, and then Ripple has one of the best strategies in the world. They're already putting 50% or more energy into a dead end, or why would they be putting 50% or more energy into a dead end? That would contradict the genius strategy behind everything. And I wholeheartedly agree, guys. Exactly. Like, this is not the most elaborate scam ever created. Anybody that dismisses XRP as a scam or Ripple using the dump and fund them ongoing, that is ridiculous, guys. This is a $1 billion startup. They know what they're doing. They're in the know, and they have been following with regulations ever since their inception. This is a real company building the foundation for one of the most successful liquidity tools the world has ever seen. And I need to emphasize that because so many people, there's so much FUD, and there's actually bots, whether it's YouTube or Twitter, just spreading around misinformation. All right, now another channel I highly want to support is James Malpass, and I believe it is Crypto Nation News on YouTube, and he uploaded a recent video of Chris Larsen during an interview, and this interview took place a while back, but keep in mind, Chris Larsen is the executive chairman of Ripple. When he speaks, I listen. And one of the things he talks about with, ILP, the Interledger Protocol, he's talking about XRP and saying, well, with ILP or XRP and the XRP ledger, it has to be extremely easy and basic to use and just have an easy concept to be mass adopted. Just like logistics, the shipping containers back then, they were all different sizes. There was, all kinds of different issues along with that and the whole supply chain aspect of that. And when the shipping container and that whole process became standardized in terms of size, dimensions, logistics, tools, the machines that were built around them, they created this interoperability throughout the whole ecosystem, and it literally skyrocketed production in the global economy and global commerce by hundreds of %. Keep in mind, this is the same goal with value, just like the Interledger and all the folks working on that project as well. Now, obviously, the Interledger Protocol, ILP, will create this Cambrian explosion of innovation, economic development to welcome in the billions of people that are excluded from global commerce today. We already know Southeast Asia, we know Africa, we know even in the Middle East. There are so many parts and populations of the unbanked, just like Moja Loop is working on that initiative in Africa to help with that clunky, architecture and ecosystem. I'm blending words, as you can see. But guys, there's just so much upside, and I truly do not know how people do not see XRP and what it is accomplishing on a daily basis. You have to look past price and speculate for the future based off of logic and what is happening now. Now, they've even gone on to say that payments, the majority of them, will become machine to machine. He says once interledger protocols, or ILP type of protocols, interoperability protocols, I should say, are enabled with the Internet of Things, IoT, this is going to create true automation, seamless movement of value. And again, currencies need to be liquid as possible. Therefore, they are building as many use cases around the XRP ecosystem as possible. It will go far beyond mere cross-border payments, as you can already see today within the ecosystem growing. We have, Xpring or Spring, for example. They're making new SDK kits, software development kits for on a daily basis in a plethora of industries. We have gaming, music, smart contracts, etc. So one of the quotes that I caught that caught my attention as well is he says, once we have an Internet of Value, an IOV, that is overlaid on top of the Internet of Data, the Internet of Information, data and money, or data and value, will be moving together. This is going to be packets of information in digital assets, fiat, you name it, all moving seamlessly. Another thing I saw, another recent video I was watching, was Brad Garlinghouse back in 2017 at the FinTech Festival during an interview. And this is what I want to emphasize, and this might be regurgitation to you guys, but I want you to keep your eye on the prize. I watch hours of information daily from people straight from Ripple. And he goes, if you're solving a problem literally valued in the trillions of dollars, whether you want to say 10 trillion to be conservative or the 23 to 27 trillion dollar mark, and you're sending large value payments over the XRP ledger, not, $10,000 micropayments, which is considered a micropayment in the financial industry. I'm talking 20, even $50 million transactions. What price does XRP have to be able to be liquid enough to handle that transaction? You need tons of liquidity from not only LPs like liquidity providers to reduce the slippage costs as well, but there's just so much that goes along with that. There are a million ways at the end of the day that you can calculate this and guesstimate the future value and speculate and quantify it. At the end of the day, nobody knows the future value. However, we know it's orders of magnitude higher than 20 cents. 20 cents is when we are sending pennies over the XRP ledger on a daily basis. And yes, that might be a gross exaggeration, but in terms of the market that we are going after, way beyond just mere remittance, we're talking the world of trade finance that opens a plethora of opportunities. We're talking even, lending, syndicated loans with, R3. It just goes on and on and on. All right. Now, another point. CBDCs, central bank digital currencies. We already know, we see all of the news. Every XRP YouTuber is talking about it. Central bank digital currencies are being developed in dozens of countries. Some of them have been piloting them for years. Regulations are coming. Now banks can custody assets in certain countries within Europe. Others can buy, using cryptocurrency, you can buy property. Now, are these CBDCs a threat to XRP? No. If anything, it validates the need for XRP as a bridge asset. And this is straight from Brad Garlinghouse, CEO of Ripple, literally in an interview during the FinTech Festival. He says, well, if you have a central bank coin and you still need to send value to another central bank coin, you still have a cross-border problem. You still need that settlement solution. Now, perhaps CBDCs, they're going to help improve efficiencies on a domestic basis, perhaps, but it's still not solving the cross-border settlement issue, period. So, not even remotely worried in that regard. And as we're moving towards a digital economy, we need everyone to go digital anyways. So this should be a no-brainer to you. Another thing, I did just watch Brad Kimes' stream recently, and he was just going over an article made by Mark Phillips, and it was an awesome article, and they're quoting Arthur Brito, one of the original architects of the XRP ledger, and I'm just going to read this quote verbatim. You take it as you will, and obviously stay level-headed, stay grounded, but I just want to show you the potential upside. So literally, one of Ripple Labs' co-founders, Arthur Brito, said this. He said, XRP, and when they built this is what they had in mind, so then it could scale, so it could have true, tons and tons of transactions per second, and that this whole ledger would not get oversaturated. He says, XRP must be scalable to accommodate 7.5 billion people. All right. Well, does that mean it was designed to be used by every human on the planet and serve as a world reserve currency? I mean, it was designed with that in mind. Does that mean it's going to happen? Absolutely not. What I'm saying is if we get 1%, 0.5%, 10% of this money, this market share, solving a real problem, domino, the network effects are going to take place. And I just don't think we comprehend how early we could truly be with this asset class. So just wanted to emphasize that, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed, this little type of video, kind of a podcast type of thing, going over, various people that have, actually built and worked on the XRP ledger in the know. Let me know. I know some of you like to actually see my screen, so I totally get that, and I can go back to my old style of videos, but just wanted to switch it up a little bit. So with that, guys, like this video. I always appreciate it, and I will see you in the next video.